What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Let me just get some of this stuff up. If you got any crypto or trading related questions, do not hesitate to ask. Let me know. We're doing a little multi-streaming right now. You know what it is. So if you're watching this, it could be on a bunch of different platforms. I appreciate all of you so much for being here. We're just watching overall crypto market as a whole, and then going to take a look at some charts and things like that. So if there are any charts you want to look at, take advantage while the room is small and get those questions in. Double tap that screen too if you can hear me all right and all that fun stuff. I hope everyone's having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're tuned in the world. Because I know we have an international community. Oh, here we go. Boom. If you're watching this on the Tiki-Taki too, there's a button on the bottom right corner of the screen. You click that, it'll make it go full screen. So if you want to stay for a while and chill, that's the way to do it. Boom. Cool. What's going on, Eco? Appreciate you for being here. We're doing a little multi-stream right now, so we're across 5 different platforms at the moment. But if anyone has any trading or crypto-related questions, whatever it may be, don't hesitate to ask. Let me know. If you haven't joined us in the EPIQ trading floor, stop slacking, do it. Let me say we're live on TikTok, YouTube, Kick, Twitch. All the big boys. Sorry about the random coughs here and there. I'm still getting over a little cold. I guess I must have caught while I was in Europe or something. You know how it is. Traveling is always fun. I appreciate everyone too for being here. I hope everyone's having a great day so far. Hey, what longs did you close? I closed 50% profit on the Bitcoin trade too. I closed out at 212% today. This is the one that I was sitting in for the last few days. And then I have my trailing stop loss at 100%. There we go, Eco. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. Congrats. ETH and BTC. Nice. 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 I'm liking ETH right now. I think that it just needs to find a little bit more of a support, but we're looking pretty damn bullish, which we like. Hey, yo, what up, Moist Mike? Appreciate you for being here. I see you, YouTube fam. How was Spain? Spain was amazing. I also went to Munich for the opening week of Oktoberfest. I got my stitches out this morning on my thumb, so, you know, we're living, vibing, and thriving and surviving. Zilla, what's going on, Zilla? Appreciate you. I didn't have nowhere near 200, though, but I'm new. Hey, don't worry about the profit points. It's as long as you're up, like, what I like to tell people that are brand new and stuff like that, just focus on being in profit, right? As long as you end the day green, even if you get a trailing stop loss and you close a trailing stop loss at break even, I put my break even so I walk out of it like $1 or $2 up, for example. And then in that scenario, if I hit 1 million break evens, I make $1 million. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at it from that perspective. Win is a win. It's all good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. A win is a win is a win. So as long as you walk out in green, that's what matters. Like, this is my trading journal for my prop firm account. I got cooked one day specifically, but every other day besides this one day, minus 1,400, I've already made that profit back in the last 3 days. I ended today plus 761. But you can see I try to mitigate my losses as much as possible. So some days I might only walk out with 13 to 50 bucks, but that's because I'm trying to shave and, you know, balance that risk, for example. So it all kind of depends on how you go at it. This account, I'm up 900 bucks on it, and still 35% win rate on this account and up 900. So even if if you're trading with a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you only need to hit, what is it, 26% of your trades to be profitable long term. It's all about just making sure that you're risking the same amount every time. Hopefully Asia keeps bringing up. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that, Juicy Juice. Hopefully you're having a good day, too. So far, I profited from 22 out of 30. Fuck yeah, there you go. I love Munich and Oktoberfest. Seeing chicks carrying like 20 mugs is beyond... Oh my god, yeah, beyond impressive for sure. It was a shit show. It's almost like difficult to not black out at Oktoberfest. It's like harder to just not be that person because after what 2, 3 beers, you're 2, 3 liters in. It's tough. Even when you're eating schnitzel and brats and all those delicious foods that they have in the chicken, woo, so good. I'm with you, Juicy Juice. I trade prop firms too, so I'm also trading USD JPY. That's that trade that you saw here. The ones that I've been taking today were pretty much all USD JPY trades throughout the morning. I hit this one while sleeping, so I went up about $700-800 before the morning session. But yeah, I try to mitigate my risk as much as possible. So you'll see that I risk about under $100 per trade for the most part. This one got cooked, obviously, and then on the top side, I'm usually taking profits at like 1 to 300. So you just want to make sure that you're taking more profits. It's all about the strategy you use, but that's kind of like my focus. But yeah, I am trading. I'm in a long right now in USD JPY. Multiple positions open, but yeah, if you're looking at it, I'll show you what I see on my side. If there's any other charts anyone wants to look at, by the way, like I trade everything too, so you can always ask anything crypto related as long as it has a chart on TradingView. But I trade everything. Let me go to the other one that has volume reading. Onda is better. I have all my markings on here too. So if you're going from, I'll go to the 15-minute, we'll go look at the sessions, and you'll see that New York didn't do shit. So with sessions, you'll notice that we got swept down pretty low, and we've been stagnant through London, New York, and Sydney. So the fact that we're in a bullish crossover, bullish pivot signals, and a lot of top side volume, you'll notice that the highest point of control for volume is up here at about 149.7. So even taking that trade to the top side, your risk, I'll do it from a risk to reward perspective so you can see that too, because it makes a little bit more sense. But even from here, if you want to run a stop loss down at 148.2, even at 148.1, that's still a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which means you basically hit 26% of those trades and you're profitable long term. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm watching on USD JPY right now. We're sweeping liquidity. So right now, because we're sweeping New York, London, and now Japan's going to open basically the next 15 minutes. And I would assume this can come down, maybe resweep this one final time, and then hopefully push up. There's way more liquid up top than downside. So probability-wise, risk to reward-wise, I'd rather take this trade to the top than to the bottom. Just me personally. Can I look at render? Yeah, for sure. What do you like about render in general? I like render also, but I'm just curious. I like to ask the question. AJ, what's going on? Appreciate you for being here. Hopefully you're having a good day so far. If I had 1K, where'd I put it today for fast return, and what would I do long term? I mean, if you want my most honest answer, what I tell people is if you had $1,000 to invest, I would invest in yourself first, invest in your education, all of that, learn the skill of trading and wealth building, because that's really what it is. And then from there, you won't have to ask anyone else because you'll be able to create your own conviction. But it's easier said than done to pick something that's going to pick a fast return from today to next week or whatever in an hour, in a day. There's so many different projects. The majority of the money that I make in crypto, for example, is long term. So things that take 3 months to 3 years to generate, but that's how you make 10x, 50x, 100x, 200x, things like that that are just like absurd numbers. That's how you get those returns. But it's not everyone likes to pitch it up as this thing where you could just like put it in tomorrow and you'll get a 50x return guaranteed, which the faster the return, the faster the risk. So the faster you could potentially flip that money, the faster it is that you could potentially lose it all as well. I even tell people if you wanted to invest $1,000, what you want to do is imagine taking that $1,000, putting it into a trash can, and then lighting that trash can on fire. And then if you're okay with losing that $1,000, then you could trade with it. But if you're not okay with just burning it and watching it go bye-bye, then you shouldn't be trading with it, because that usually means that you're emotionally invested into that money. Mainly because of GPU demand long term. I like that. I like that for sure. I'm definitely a big fan of what they're doing from a GPU sharing perspective, so I would be in agreement with that. Now on the hourly, you're in a bearish crossover, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of weakness. You still have room to drop. So if this want to drop down to like $3.33 again, it could very well do that and be very bullish long term. Still kind of bottoming out on the hourly, which is a good thing to see. And then I'm going to be under the safe assumption that has plenty of topside room. So a lot of these projects, especially in AI, layer 2 scaling solutions, a lot of them are still testing like really far in the range lows and or bear market prices in some cases. So let's see, RNDR. I know there's a better chart. I want to say maybe Coinbase or something is going to have a longer chart of it. I forgot that they changed their ticker too, which doesn't make it any easier to find like the older data. There we go. This is a little bit better. So I mean, if you're going back to 2023, you're basically in the range lows before the impulse move from November 2024 and so on and so forth. So we've already seen this push from the price that we're currently at up about 300%. So if it wanted to do it again, has a decent probability to do that. I'm assuming that that could be the all-time high for render. I'm not entirely sure. You can always check on CoinGecko. CoinGecko will tell you the full list. Let's see, render. Yeah, so rebrand to render. Yeah, your all-time high is going to be sitting at about 13 bucks. You can even see it down here. It should tell you somewhere. It should say all-time high. There it goes. 13.53 all-time high. And all-time low 0.03. So $1.7 billion market cap. It's pretty low. Relatively low. If you go into the AI sector, you'd be able to compare what it could do. So if you go into AI, you'll notice that it's not the top dog. Top dog is near. So it still has about a, let's say, 2 to 3x move to basically get to the market cap of near. And that would be relatively achievable because that's the top dog in AI. So it's not like you're trying to compare it to the market cap of Bitcoin. Like it needs to get to $1 trillion to get to this. So that's how you can kind of do that. Near is way better. Yeah, for sure. Near is great and has a lot of institutional money. Near, BitTensor, Render, FET, Graph, Theta. They're all great options. I like all of them. I don't think there's going to be any key one leader. So me personally, when I like to invest and pick projects, I just find sectors that I think can be game changing, and then I pick 3 to 5 projects within that sector. So if I like AI, I could pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, and then that's a pretty solid little hand right there. If I like layer 2 scaling solutions, I would consider doing Polygon, Optimism, Immutable X, Arbitrum, and maybe another one. So I like to kind of spread the bag on those. And yeah, like Tao's great. BitTensor Tao is another good project. I see someone mentioned it in here too. Like they're all good. They're all bullish AI projects. I think it's going to be a new thing to see this cycle, how kind of people use the AI infrastructure in terms of, because with a lot of these projects, you're giving out your GPU space, and that's how you're making money. So it's a proof of stake, but your proof of stake is basically through allowing people to use the power of your computer and allow their AI, your processing power, because it takes a lot of fucking power to process AI, and it's expensive as fuck. So, yeah, they're all good projects. What crypto should I hold long term? Your thoughts on XRP? My thoughts on XRP, I think you can go to like the $6 to $10 range. Do I think it's the Messiah? No. Do I think it's gonna like run the global system for the world? No. Do I think that there's a lot of people that are new to the space are gonna throw money at it like it's a dirty little stripper when it's at like $8 to $10? Absolutely. So I think there's gonna be a lot of exit liquidity for the smart traders. Can it get to 10,000? Sure, maybe on way down the road. Not anytime soon. But I would be very happy with 6 to 10. I got into XRP at about 60 cents, so I'm cool with that. Do I think Render has room to test previous all-time highs? Oh, for sure. I think it can retest all-time highs. I don't see why not. Any project that's half decent through parabolic altcoin seasons and through just seasons in general should be breaking those all-time highs if they're solid projects. Yeah, of course. I appreciate you for being here too, Vagabond. And thank you for the questions too. Let's see what we got. XLM. XLM is going to be like the cousin to XRP, so you can remember that on that side of things. What is Zcash? Zcash is one of those, I believe that. Let me go look from this perspective. Zcash. So a lot of times I like to go on a CoinGecko and just look at the max. So for example, this thing's been around since 2017, and you can see that every bull run it goes down. So I wouldn't like this. This is not something that I'm interested in any way, just because this is what a dead coin would look like. literally every single bull run while everything is going up and creating highs. Like you want good projects to look like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So Bitcoin's chart from cycle to cycle is going to look exponentially higher. So 2017 to 2021 to 2025. You want that growth year by year, cycle by cycle. That's what you really want to see. Things that go the opposite direction, like Litecoin, for example, even is not the best because Litecoin, the only thing that Litecoin has for it is that it consistently tests all-time high in 2 bull runs, but you barely broke the all-time high from 2017 to 2021. So if you didn't sell the top in 2017, you had basically like a week to maybe get it in 2021 and then right back down to the bottom. So this year, could it go right back up to that 300 and what range was it at? Yeah, 410 is the highest. So let's say 375. Could it get back up to 375? Sure. But that's just because I've already done it in 2 different cycles, which is ridiculous. What's my view on alt season? How does it differ from previous bull runs? Do I think now with institutional money, it's just going to take longer. But yeah, I think parabolic altcoin season is just around the corner. You just have to wait for Bitcoin dominance to sell off. If you go look at Bitcoin dominance, that's going to be the biggest telltale sign of kind of what's going on from a macro perspective. You can go look at it in every single bull and bear run and see how it reacts, and you'll notice that every single time Bitcoin sells off. Now, mind you, every single altcoin season, there's more altcoins, which is why Bitcoin in 2017 had 96% dominance, which just means how much of the market cap Bitcoin owned. And then in 2021, there's a lot more of a release of altcoins, which only allowed Bitcoin to get to 72%, 73%. And then in 2025, obviously, as you know, there's even more altcoins. So with that, it only allowed Bitcoin to get up to about 66% total market cap dominance. So, but every single year in these parabolic seasons, you get a nice little sell-off all the way down under the 50s and into the 40s. It happened in 2017, it happened in 2021, and then every single time Bitcoin dominance really aggressively pulls up, you get into bear runs, which you can see that this maps out from 2022 all the way to where we're at now. Go into November of 2024, you had a little bit of a sell-off, which would lead that mini altcoin season, which is kind of this right here. But from that point, you drop down to about 54. I still want to see this break that and then continue down into the 40 range. And then at the same time, you have total 3, which is the altcoin chart. Altcoin chart is getting pretty close to breaking and creating new all-time highs. So from 2021, you created a brand new all-time high recently, and you just popped it off again. But we want to see this like actually break out, right? So I'm waiting for this chart as well to really get an explosive move up into my over-exhausted territory, which is where I would probably be shaving a lot of profit. So like the people that are in the EPIQ trading floor, I post about all my trades and my alerts, and I teach my trading strategy step by step, so you can always join us in the EPIQ trading floor. But yeah, that's kind of, with institutions, you have to think of it, everything is just going to go a little bit slower, right? It's just not going to move as aggressively because it takes longer for them to add money. If you're adding billions and trillions of dollars or hundreds of billions into the trillions, it just takes a little bit longer for that to happen. So with retail money and lower market caps, things just move slower or faster. And then as the market cap gets higher and the money becomes more institutional, everything just kind of moves slower. So you're just, if anything, it's just delaying your 4-year cycle, for example. If I had 75K to throw into crypto right now, how would I allocate it? I have about 65 projects in my long-term portfolio, so maybe that kind of gives you a good idea. But yeah, I base it all on sector. So I find sectors and areas that I believe in have high conviction that can be game-changing. And so that's kind of what I'm focused on from my value perspective. I taught a keynote in November of 2021 at Miami Crypto Expo. I was a keynote speaker on how to find altcoins with 25x potential or higher. Shadow 5. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate you. I like the live setup. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wanted to switch it up because this one is the multi-stream right now. So we're on a bunch of different channels, not just TikTok. So I wanted to kind of switch that up. IMX, Immutable X. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better layer 2 scaling solutions as well. I'm a big fan. A lot of these are still testing close to bear market prices. So if you're going back into 2023, even 2022, you'll notice that we're still testing those ranges. So I like to buy projects when they're beat up and shit up and no one wants them and they're boring. And for me, I love volume. I'm a volume-based divergence trader. So when I see volume looking like this, which is an exponential inflow of volume, and then at the exact same time, price is going sideways in a consolidation range with high horizontal volume, which is RVP. This tells me that the spring is loaded. and that if it wants to take off, then from here you have your range high test at about 420%. You already know. And then if it wanted to break to the all-time high even on this chart, that's a 685% move. So yeah, there's plenty of topside room. Any of the layer 2 scaling solutions look like that, just because they're very tied into Ethereum. So Polygon is the same way. You're at range lows with exponential volume. Look at this volume on this chart. It's ridiculous on the daily. And still sideways price action with plenty of room to the top side. Optimism, same thing. They're all kind of down there chilling. You have an inverse head and shoulders pattern playing out, high inverted volume, really good VRPP at the point of control. So that's a volume, visible range volume. And, you know, another one that has 500 potential upside swing just to test range highs, things like that. So, yeah, bro, I love ICP. What do you think about ICP? Not my favorite. Still down like what, 99% from its all-time high. So that's a good way. That's a good thing and good way to look at that, for example. What I think about Caspa, I think Caspa is, I'll put it into the middle tier L1s because Caspa is, it's a very saturated space in the L1s, but it is a great project. It's a great ecosystem. I would put it with Sui, SCI, Caspa, Akash. All of those would be kind of my middle tier L1s. And then like my top tier L1s would be the Chainlinks, the AVAX, Solana, Binance, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, so on and so forth. But there's a lot of L1s. There's a very saturated space, so keep that in mind. AVAX is another one that's just beat to shit right now. You're pretty much in bear market prices. That's how you can look at it from most of these. I'm always looking at it from overbought versus oversold. So you can just go to any chart and go see if it's at bear market, which it is. So you're testing range high from August of 2022, which is in the middle of the shitter, right before we get into this season. So even if AVAX wanted to break out to its all-time high, that's a 400% move. If it wanted to break out past that, even better. But it all depends on what the market wants. If you're looking at it from a volume perspective, all the money's buying and all the money's just been flowing down in this range here from 30 bucks down to about 15 bucks. That's the majority of volume inflow for this project right now. So if it wants to rip, cool. No one ever knows. That's why I have 65 projects in my long term. So I'll give you a little bit of a sauce for the answer, right? So when I got into crypto in October 2020, I got into crypto. I've been trading since 2010, but I was trading Forex, futures, commodities, things like that. I was a senior in high school in the investment club. And then when I went to go get my master's degree in 2017 was when I started trading for profit, because I was just trying to make some money on the side as well while I was in school. Obviously, makes sense. I had about a $10,000 investment in crypto in October of 2020. I just bought into 10 projects, $1,000 each. And then one of them ended up doing a 175x, which was Polygon Matic. So you can look at it from that perspective. I played that game of, okay, well, that one more than paid off the entire investment period for that. And then I ended up getting my portfolio up from 10 projects to about 35 projects by the time the bull run was over completely. So I'll probably be doing that same thing now. I have about 65, and at the end of the day, I'll probably get it up to, at some point, it might get closer to the 80s, but they'll have trailing stop losses and everything mitigated, so I'm not worried about it. But I play the probability game. You never know which one's going to break out. You never know it's going to be the big player, the big loser, who's going to go up 5, 10, 20, 50, 100x. You never know. But if you have a good set probability, then you can have odds in your favor. So being able to spread the bag and diversify in that sense can really help, because you never know which project. It could be Immutable X, it could be Optimism, it could be Polygon, it could be any of those L2s that pop off, it could be any of the L1s that pop off. You never, everything is everything's speculative in trading and investing. So look at it from that perspective. And how do I personally know when the top is in? I don't know. If you're trying to time the top, you're asking to just lose your money. The better thing to do is to figure out and understand that everything in this game is like a train. It's probability. So it's when you get in versus when you get out. And so you just want to make sure that if things start to move up, just have your risk mitigated so that if the market goes against you, you don't have your pants down at your ankles. And that's how I approach it. So let's see. I'll show you. So on my long-term portfolio, everything is allocated $1,000 because then I can track it from my end and see how much I'm actually up from when I got in. So I'm currently up 6.3x on Solana because it's at 6,300 and it started at 1,000. So that's not the actual money that I have invested into it. That's just You could put it at 100, 1,000, 10,000, whatever you want, but it just helps me kind of track where the overall portfolio is sitting. And so I can figure out what I got a moon bag, what I'm up on, what I'm down on, what I can DCA more into, all those types of things. So 6.3x on Solana, 4.9x on XRP. I'm up 4.5x on Bitcoin because I got in at about 26.5 was my average in. 3.3x on Pudgy Penguins, 2.5 on Doge, 2.3 on Chainlink, 2.3 on Ethereum. And my short-term portfolio is this. So all of my leverage trading, this is my record for that. And then all of those trades are here. So I have them separated between short and long-term on the EPIQ trading floor, which you can see all of my trades that I take. But yeah, so I have everything diversified from that sense, because then I know that even though, let's say, I would say at least 60% of my portfolio is probably still down because it's a lot of altcoins, but I'm still up percentage-wise because the ones that I've been buying in the big boys since 2022, 2023 are all doing well, and they're holding the weight of my portfolio until altcoin season catches up and brings everything up with it. But just playing the game is what it comes down to. It's all probability. So if you get your probability right, that's like one of the main things I teach in the EPIQ trading floor too, is you want to have conviction in your things, but you want to find things that are oversold, getting into those, and then selling them when they're overbought. As simple as that sounds, it's people love to overcomplicate the process and then get stuck. And then they hold bags through all bear runs and all these things because the greed monster kicks in. Let's see. Add Wi-Fi. Can I check out SNAI and Griffin? Tell me about them. I don't know anything about those. I hope it ain't going under 4. For which one? Is it good to keep buying Bitcoin? Yeah, I mean, you can always keep buying Bitcoin, but it's not like, don't expect to make a fat bag on it. Bitcoin's not one anymore that's going to give you a 10x return. You might get lucky and maybe run up another 50 to 80% on it, maybe, through the rest of the run. But it's not going to give you the return of some of these other projects, that's for sure. Pump near Astro Chainlink, Jupe Orb, nice. Fuck yeah. Definitely solid. Going 30 on ICP, 10 on Pump. Money invested, iCloud. Nice, there you go. Definitely solid little bag. A nice little diversification for sure. This is the trade that I closed this morning, or I closed it, an hour ago, but I've been sitting in this for a couple days. This is, if you've been watching the live streams or hopping in and out, you probably saw that I was in this trade. So, got a little bit of profit on that one. We'll take it. Volume is looking good on the 24-hour period. Bullish screener scores right now. Looks like I might get a nice push here on my USD JPY trade also. Looks like we finally swept liquid. Is it 8 o'clock? Yeah, cool. So it looks like Japan is already sweeping. I'm pulling 15x on all these long term. There you go. 15x is solid. Yeah, and like I said, I like to do trailing stop losses. So for example, like I got into XRP at 60 cents or something like that. So once XRP gets to $6, then I'll probably put my trailing stop loss at like $3 or $4, you know, where I'm just securing still a 5x no matter what. If it goes up to $10, I'm still going to shave profits as it's going up. So I would shave a little bit at 6, shave a little bit at 7, shave some at 8, shave some at 9, shave some at 10. If it wants to go to 11, I'll fucking shave more, you know. I have no idea where it's going to stop. But then I do know that I'll probably have my trailing stop loss at like $6. So then, at worst case scenario, if the market just completely flips upside down and we go inverted into a true bear run, I'm walking out at 10x. And boo-hoo, right? Like, oh no! Cost doesn't matter in crypto because it's all fractionalized. What you want to be looking for is market cap. Market cap's going to be more important than cost. Cost doesn't mean shit. Cost just means that you could just add more coins to it, but it doesn't mean anything from a value perspective because you can fractionalize crypto, which means that you could just buy the normal amount that you want to buy. You don't have to buy the full amount of any stock or asset. Yeah, so market cap is going to be the major dictator and predicator of how far a project can go, of how the movement that it can make, right? So if you're looking at it from market cap, the reason why Bitcoin won't do a 100x move is because it's already at a $2.2 trillion market cap. So for it to make a move like that would require an absurd amount of money to go into the crypto market. Whereas something at the very bottom of this list, for example, if you're going at something that has a 1.3 billion, if this wanted to do a 2x return and everything stayed the same, circulating supply, all of that, then it would need a 2.6 billion, which is really not much of an injection. This thing would just basically bump up to like into current market into the top 60, because this is all relative. If everything explodes, if we go into an altcoin season, all these numbers will go up too. So everything is relative to the current time and price, because let's say everything runs up. Let's say to be in the top 40 right now, you need 5 billion. But in 6 months, if we get into an altcoin season, it could take 10 billion to be in the top 40. So you can look at it from that perspective. So the lower the market cap, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So you can lose it as fast as you can win it, and vice versa. You call these blue chips up here because they have lower risk but lower reward return. It just takes longer to reap those benefits, and yeah, so Solana be better than Bitcoin then. Yeah, Solana has a lower market cap for sure. So I would say you have a higher probability. You have a higher percent return probability with Solana going into a parabolic altcoin season versus Bitcoin. I would agree with that statement. Looking at Metal, XPR alone. Yeah, no, they're all solid, Nate. For sure. I see Jay He just joined us. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Sol's the next ETH. Yeah. Once they can fix some of their issues. They definitely got issues here and there, but it's alright. Appreciate everyone that's watching across the board. We're on a bunch of different platforms. I appreciate everyone for being here. What up, what up? If anyone has any crypto or trading related questions, don't hesitate to ask. Let me know. If you want to join us in the EPIQ trading floor, we have a ton of resources on here. This is what it looks like. It's the world's first social media platform built specifically for traders. It's free to sign up. So you can go to that link above, or just go to EPIQ, EPIC, or EPIQ. Either one works. EPIQTradingFloor.com. Sign up for free. And if you want an all access pass, which gives you access to like all the trading floors, all the courses, the members only live streams, and all of that, that's this link right here. And then there's one, I just opened up, there's one spot left for the one-on-one mentorship. I had someone that we finished up this month, so I have a spot that opened up for that. BT dubs. Andrew, what's going on, bro? ICP is the next soul, yeah. We'll see. I'm not completely sold on ICP, but we'll see. Hopefully it does work out for you in your benefit. Soul target, I just want to see at least do a 2 to 4x would be cool. I'd be happy with it. Flare is going to be rolling with XRP for the most part. So Flare and XRP, XLM, all of those are kind of like to run together. People that typically like to buy one like to buy all of them. Zip, thank you for that follow. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a good day so far. Steve, thank you for that share too. Short-term soul target. Depends on how short. You can go 30-second, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 45 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. It's all very different. Now, I'm just waiting to see when Bitcoin wants to rip more first and foremost. So I would be watching for Bitcoin to take a bigger move to get up to the higher numbers, potentially breaking a new all-time highs. And then maybe watch Solana, Ethereum, and a couple others. Maybe find some longer-term support levels here and there that could kind of moonshot them going into the medium-term future. But I'm more so watching Bitcoin to take a nice little move right now. Now I'm trying to open a whole bunch of all positions, just focusing on 2-3 max, and they move. They all move. Yeah, pretty much. In its own way, yeah, you could say it like that. Once they move, they all move. Will it be a different time? Sure, but yeah, they all kind of will move. Any half decent project will go parabolic in an altcoin season. Look at Withbro, like Dog with Hat. It's just a meme coin. Just gotta wait for meme coin season to take off. I'm sure Dog with Hat probably has 100x potential if it really wanted to. Bear market prediction. When will bear market start? No idea. Nobody knows when it's gonna start. It's more so, you gotta, if you're trying to time it, you're gonna get yourself caught with your pants down at your ankles. What you just gotta figure out is what profit points you would be happy with, and then being able to mitigate and secure that risk whenever that time does. Wormhole season, yeah, no, you and me both need a wormhole season. Wormhole and WorldCoin, those two are, I think, some some fun ones for this year for sure. But yeah, no, Wormhole, we're getting there. We've seen a little bit of the explosive potential, that's for sure. Yeah, Axelar too, same thing. If Wormhole rips, Axelar will rip. Axelar's more the Omni-Chain style, so I'll take that. Let's take it all right now. If you want me to be completely honest with you, Matt, like you can't really do too much with TA on little meme coins like that. It's only gonna go so far. Just gotta wait for the actual season to kick off. Cause like you're like a little move here and there is cool, but at the end of the day, like you still want to see 50x moves and stuff like that. Polk any good? I don't even. Is it like Polk starter or something? Everything in the Polkadot ecosystem is kind of meh to me right now, to be honest. I'm not sold on it. I was very sold on it once upon a time, but as of recent, not so much. If you want to join us in the Epic trading floor, just hit that link in my bio or go to the link above. Those would be the best ones, so check it out. It is free to sign up. You can even grab an all access pass for free for 72 hours. And if you don't like it after 70 hours or whatever it is, you can always cancel it. I won't take it personally. True that. I was saying, how would you take a trade based on what you'd see in a long since 69.70? What is the price at right now on it? It depends on how long your long-term time frame is too. You got to be more specific with that as well. Are you trying to just make 10%? Are you trying to make 100%? Are you trying to make 1,000%, 10,000%, 50,000%? How long are you willing or trying to stay in that long position as well? Where do you have a stop loss? Is it leverage? Is it non-leverage? Is it spot? What's your liquidation? Like, there's a lot that goes into it. That's why I teach a lot of this stuff. Good day for a trial, honestly. 2 members only streams the next 3 days. Yeah, exactly. Anyone that grabs one of those all-access trial spots in that 72 hours for free, yeah, you get access to both of the members-only live streams. One is tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST, and then Thursday, 12 p.m. EST. MicroStrategy Q3 EPS will be set in stone tomorrow night based on Q2, Q3 Bitcoin price increase. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, like that. That'll help us a little bit more, help with the institutional money. I'm still waiting on ETH staking and ETF staking. I'm trying to make 8%, 10x, 500 margin, brother. Nice. I do like your TA, though. I'd recommend to people to get a course too. Nice. I mean, I don't sell a course technically. I just have people in the Epic trading floor, which is not a course. I mean, we have courses that are integrated into it, but it's the world's first social media platform that's built specifically for traders. So there's 24/7 signals, 24/7 market news. I put all of my trade alerts and everything that I do on here too. We have a full community built on here. So yeah, no, it's not just, I don't sell like a course, like buy my course. No, like I offer the Epic trading floor, which is like an all-in-one. But I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I use 4 hour, 6 hour, 12 hour, and then 3-day charts. There you go. Fuck yeah. There you go. I love it, brother. I signed up recently. I love it. Happy. That's what I like to hear. Trading floor is better than course open. Discussion teaches more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at the same time, you still get the course at the end of the day, which is more of that like learn as you go type process. But then there's like the intensive kind of things that we do in the live streams and stuff. Yeah. So a little more in depth than just like, here's this. Here's my PDF. So it's 2017. Nice. There you go. Fuck yeah. But I'm gonna be hopping off of here in just a few minutes too. So I appreciate you all. Like I said, if you want to join us in the Epic Trading Floor, you know where to find it. You can sign up for free, get access to the all access for free, try it out for 3 days, for free. So I appreciate you all. I will be keeping everyone up to date too in the Epic trading floor about kind of my positions and what's going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum, moving forward, so on and so forth. But heading to work, I'll be in the stream with them. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. You have a good night. Crush it at work. Do your thing. I appreciate everyone for being here too. I hope everyone has a great morning.